Hey everybody, happy Friday and welcome to a special edition of The Daily from BBVA Compass Stadium in Houston, Texas, here with Greg Lawless. I'm Nick Furshaw. As you can tell, one day left to go before the grand opening of the brand new digs for the Houston Dynamo. They're going up against DC United on Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC Sports Network. Catch a live chat on MLSsoccer.com. We've been here for about 24 hours now. We like the new dig so far.
It's amazing. I mean, the first thing you notice is that it's very orange, as you can see right now. It's very orange, but it's also a beautiful stadium. Last night, when there was a soft opening, when the Dynamo Academy team took on the US U17s, U17s got the win in this one. But the stadium just seemed to have a nice glow about it, actually. As we were leaving the stadium, we looked back and said, look, it really looks beautiful at night. When it's got a little bit of an orange glow to it. It's got a lot of noise. There were probably about 4,000 or 5,000 people here for the soft opening yesterday, Nick, and you could hear them. I'm just imagining what it's going to be when it's full with 22,000 people.
Season ticket holders only for that game on Thursday night. Let's talk a little bit about the game. If you look around this stadium, you're going to see pillars from former Houston Dynamo greats. One of those guys is Dwayne De Rosario, who takes DC United in here. DC, one of the hotter teams in the league so far. Got to assume he is the focal point for the Dynamo if they can shut Darrow down.
Yeah, if they shut Darrow down, he's playing in that attacking midfield role now for DC United. If they can get that done, then it starts to neutralize some of the other weapons that DC United have. Obviously, Chris Pontius playing very well. Michael Santos, 6 goals on the season already. And you also have guys like Nick De Leon, who he didn't see the field last week a little bit. He took a little bit of a break. Now he can be back. Danny Cruz, a former Houston Dynamo player, also coming back for this one. We seem to forget him in all of the hype about Dero coming back. But you're right, if they neutralize Dero, then Houston have a very good chance of getting a big play.
We've been talking for the last 24 hours or so, Greg, who's going to get his first goal at BBVA Compass Stadium? Could be Brian Ching. He actually rested last time out against the New York Red Bulls. He is expected to be back, obviously, for the Houston Dynamo. The big grand opening for BBVA Compass Stadium on Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern on the NBC Sports Network. You can catch a live chat on MLSsoccer.com. Well, a great game in the Western Conference on Saturday night. The Seattle Sounders at home against Real Salt Lake up at CenturyLink Field, 10 p.m. Eastern on MLS Live. You can say these are the two best teams in the Western Conference. San Jose Earthquakes in there in the mix. Real Salt Lake goes up to Seattle. They've won 5 in a row, the Seattle Sounders. A tough task for RSL, but should be.
And it is very hard to beat Seattle in Seattle right now. CenturyLink Field has become a fortress for them, and they are feeling it right now, especially Freddie Montero. He had 2 goals in the midweek win over FC Dallas. Of course, he had that long-range blast to win it about a week ago. And he had the assist for Mauro Rosales' winner against Philadelphia at home. So this is a Sounders team that is in full form. They're feeling it really, really well right now. Ziggy Schmidt has them all working. And so many different parts. We talk about Andy Rose coming in and doing well. Alex Kasky coming in and doing well. So we'll see who's in that midfield for them. On the other side, Real Salt Lake, they have looked good in a different way. They're grinding out results. Kyle Beckerman, to me, is having the best season of his career so far. He's getting into the attack. He's running that midfield. And also the question is, what happens with Nick Rimando? The goalkeeper missed the last game out. Kyle Reynish did just fine in that 0-0 draw to Chicago on Wednesday. Word is that Rimando will be back. It's not guaranteed yet, but if he's back, he gives them such an edge. And don't forget, that's the stadium where Real Salt Lake won the 2009 MLS Cup, and Nick Rimando was the hero in that one.
They've done well in Seattle. They won in Seattle last year as well. Another guy to keep an eye on is Alvaro Saborio, who got on board a little bit last week. 2 goals and a win over New England Revolution. He was actually the Castrol Index Player of the Week. If RSL is going to do well this season, Saborio needs to contribute. Again, RSL at Seattle, Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern on MLS Live. Well, last but certainly not least, a good game in the Eastern Conference on Sunday. The New York Red Bulls at the Philadelphia Union, 12:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. You can catch a live chat on MLSsoccer.com. One of the better rivalries, Greg, in the league right now. Even though the Union not playing necessarily as well as a lot of people expected, the Red Bulls come into this one red hot.
Yeah, the Red Bulls coming in off of 3 1-0 victories, and we talked about that makeshift defense the whole time, where Connor Lade at left back, Brandon Barklage at right back, who has been phenomenal out there and allowed Jan Gunnar Solli to push up into the midfield, which has been a real boost, I think, for the Red Bulls. Rafa Marquez is eligible again, so he should be back somewhere in the midfield, I believe. They say he was injured in the last game on Wednesday. I'm not really sure how much of an injury that really was, but he's eligible for this game over the weekend on Sunday. Also, Roy Miller came back and had some minutes against Houston on Wednesday, so he should be around. Does he come back in for Connor Lade, who has looked so good at left back? That's a big question. On the Union side, it's really what do you need to do? You need to get a result. That's what the Philadelphia Union need to do. They lost that game in Philadelphia out in Seattle, where, look, they didn't look horrible, but they didn't create any chances. That's the real question right now for the Philadelphia Union. Who's going to score goals? How are they going to create chances? Freddie Adu, he's the guy you need to look to. Denny Mwanga, you need to look to him as well. These guys need to start producing. That's the question for the Philadelphia Union in this one on Sunday.
The defense has been so good for the Philadelphia Union, especially over the last 5 or 6 weeks. But you're right, that offense has not quite gotten it right this season. See if they can do it at home on Sunday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern against the New York Red Bulls. You can catch it on ESPN2, the live chat on MLSsoccer.com. That does it for us. One last thing we wanted to mention, the latest edition of Extra Time Radio coming out on Friday. Didn't come out yesterday. There's a special reason. Taped it here last night at BBVA Compass Stadium. It was a nice atmosphere. You mentioned it. A great stadium. A good dry run for these guys on Thursday night. But the real thing, Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern on the NBC Sports Network. You can catch a live chat on MLSsoccer.com, the opening of BBVA Compass Stadium in Houston. See you then.